Hey there everyone, it's the author and you're joining me for the Fast 15. As we normally do on Wednesdays, we should take no more than about 15 minutes for our weekly time to pause, check up, check in, enjoy a note from any of the books or audiobooks, then close out with a few announcements and updates and get you on your way. As you know, when life is lifing, you can't always wait until the next day for that pick-me-up or later on in the day. So hopefully this midweek break kind of gives you a chance to have a reset. It helps me out, so it's not just me doing it for me, it's hopefully doing it for you and others that you know. Make sure to stay connected with me at AuthorASnorton on Instagram. Click on the link in the bio, and that way you can navigate through all the social media, website, the coffee information with the collaboration with Fonte's Coffee, archival editions of the Conversation Corner on the Status Network, Lens of Pens podcast, and other great things. So we thank you for taking time to join us. Before we get into our topic for the day and a few announcements, I want to make sure that, again, given the times that we're in, and I know that's a phrase that's been used before, but we know that there is a lot of tension in the air locally, regionally, nationally, internationally, and even right at home. So if you or someone you know is starting to feel a little bit overloaded, overwhelmed, or at your tipping point, please take time to pause and slow things down. We know when things are too active and too overwhelming, it can create some issues or challenges. So if you're someone you know needs to seek out professional help and you have access to it, please make sure to do so. If not, and if you have to utilize, let's say, free resources, or even if you just have to stop and take inventory of the spaces and places that you're moving in, please do it. We want to see people be as successful as possible and be in a as peaceful a place as possible. And sometimes our peace legit really does get disturbed. So again, for anyone that's going through that or going through that at a high level, we are rooting for you. We are here for words of encouragement. You know, on the flip side, there are still positives taking place, whether it's work-related, finance-related, health-related, getting through a situation. There are positives despite, you know, a lot of things that are reported that aren't so. So if you or someone you know is going through a positive experience, you are going and growing through something, you're in a better space, you're operating in a better, you know, place of clarity, you should celebrate. You know, don't go over the top with it, but please take time to celebrate. Okay, so from today, keeping it simple, going to quotes and notes. Something's on the horizon. All the quotes, with the exception of one, are original quotes that I came up with. So deeper than the quote is the logic, the rationale, the explanation behind it, and the space for you to journal. Whether you agree, whether you disagree, you want to go a little bit deeper, or you want to go in another direction. Remember, what you put in your head in some way, shape, or form is going to come out. So we've got to be real conscious of what we allow residency. So here's a quote that I am going back to. I have used it before, but I think it's appropriate for today. You can still do something with something. Again, you can still do something with something. Now, the first thing I think of is obviously what's going on, you know, in our nation's capital. There's a lot of chaos, a lot of confusion, and there's a thought process that, you know, you've allowed a bull to run in a china shop, and of course you put in a china shop, there's going to be a lot of hot mess, for lack of a better term. And some people think there's nothing that can be done. Well, there's always something that can be done. You know, formally, there's, you know, utilizing your communication, putting pressure on those decision makers to say, hey, look, before you make a decision, is this really a pathway we want to go down? Because while it may benefit some, it's going to hurt too many people. Taking time to do a better job of just doing research on candidates' platforms, which is basically what they stand for, what decisions have they made, how do those decisions really have an impact? Is it really helping the people it's supposed to help? And is it making sure to put things in a truly better space and place instead of like false bravado? So those are things you have to look at or pay attention to. Maybe it means being a more proactive part of the process, not only participating in elections, but communication. And, you know, you might not be able to lobby like others do, but you can still communicate. You can still voice your displeasure or voice what you feel is, something good to do. And even though you don't always have to be out on the front lines, you can support those who are. So I think when you're always hearing something negative and something so outlandish and something to where, well, if someone else were doing these types of things, would this be allowable? It can get depressing and it can get frustrating, and you feel like there's nothing that you can do. But always remember, in some way, shape, or form, you can still do something with something. So that's the message for today from Quotes and Notes. Something's on the horizon. Okay, a couple of real quick announcements. We've got some moving parts that are coming up, and we will be posting those probably a little bit later today or during the day tomorrow. So please pay attention to the social media. Shouts again to our friends at Maracas Bar, as we were there on the 14th for a great authors talk. Shouts to every book club, bookstore, book festival, groups that have had me to come in, speak, and supporting and whatnot. I really appreciate it. Shouts to all the coffee lovers out there. Again, enjoy a sip with Snorton and a cup of really good coffee with our collaboration with the AuthorASnorton blend with Fonte's Coffee. Remember, when you order online, at checkout, you can donate a percentage of your purchase to a couple of nonprofits, so please take a look at those. And remember, when you order $60 or more, it is free shipping. So usually I tell people get 2 bags in a book and you're good. But like I said, we've got a couple of moving parts that should be dropping info either later today or during the day tomorrow, so make sure to check it out. I know August 1st, we are confirmed for the Printed Word bookstore in Portsmouth, Virginia. We'll have more info coming out on that. We're also confirmed for August the 28th back in Winston-Salem, North Carolina at the Book House. So we will start pushing those August events, and we may have some other things coming up in the near future. So again, if you're following me on social media, we'll put that out there as well as appropriate platforms. But just thank you to everybody that's taking time to pause, check up, check in. Hopefully the messages that are shared here are giving you just some things to think about and just slowing things down. And we know when you move too fast, it can be a little bit of a problem. So sometimes we gotta slow our roll on a couple of things just to kind of get it back together and to reboot. So I hope people are enjoying that. So on that note, ladies and gentlemen, we take time to say thank you, appreciate you. Please be safe while you're out and about. And remember, whether it's small or big, a victory's a victory. Whether slow or swift, movement's movement. Keep it victorious, keep it moving. I look forward to seeing you real soon. Take care.